Do you feel that no matter how much you study, nothing seems to stick in your mind? Fatigue sets in, anxiety grows, and at the end of the day, it feels like you've achieved nothing? The truth is, the problem isn't how much time you spend studying, but how you organize your routine. Stress and exhaustion don't have to be part of your daily life, and I'm going to prove that to you right now. If you want to learn more with less effort and without ending your day completely drained, stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you step by step how to transform your studies, reduce stress, and keep your productivity at its peak. And don't forget, if this content helps you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more tips like this. Let's dive in. Stress in studying is more common than it seems, and often we don't realize it's draining our energy and decreasing our ability to learn. When we're overwhelmed and anxious, our brain can't absorb content as efficiently, even if we're spending hours studying. This happens because stress interferes with cognitive functions and our ability to concentrate. And the truth is, without realizing it, we could be creating a vicious cycle of frustration and exhaustion. It's important to understand that it's not about studying more hours or pushing yourself to the limit. On the contrary, the secret lies in how you study, not the amount of time you spend with your books. When you organize your routine strategically, focusing on the quality of your study, the results can be remarkable. One of the biggest traps is thinking that mental fatigue is normal or inevitable. The good news is that stress and anxiety can be controlled with a few simple changes. One of them is learning to balance periods of intense focus with breaks for recovery. Often, the problem is studying for long periods without giving the brain the necessary rest. When you start working with study and break cycles, your brain can retain more information without burning out. Additionally, nutrition plays a crucial role in your performance. Nutrient-rich foods that help keep the brain active, like fish, nuts, and vegetables, are essential for maintaining concentration. Avoiding processed foods and those high in sugar could be the key to reducing mental fatigue and improving focus. Choosing the right fuel for your body can be the difference between productive studying and a lost day. Lack of organization in studies is one of the biggest enemies of productivity and well-being. When we don't know exactly what to do at every moment, stress and anxiety take over. The brain, by nature, prefers predictability. When you don't have a clear plan, your mind starts to drift and make automatic decisions, often ineffective, consuming mental energy without adding value to your learning. Implementing a study schedule doesn't have to be a burden. On the contrary, it brings clarity to your day. When you set fixed times to study and plan what will be covered, every study moment becomes more productive. You won't waste time deciding what to do now or worrying about what was left out. This organization allows you to focus solely on what you need to learn. It's common to believe that the more time we spend studying, the more we learn. However, this is one of the biggest traps for productivity and efficient learning. The human brain, although incredibly capable, has limitations when it comes to focus and information retention. When you study for long periods without taking breaks, the quality of information absorption starts to drop drastically, and mental fatigue sets in quickly. The truth is, to learn effectively, your brain needs time to process and consolidate the information you're absorbing. Studying without constant breaks prevents this from happening, making the study tiring and often ineffective. Contrary to what many think, the secret isn't studying for hours on end, but studying strategically, balancing effort with recovery. Hydration is a factor that's often overlooked, but it's essential for keeping the mind alert. Dehydration can cause mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and even headaches. Staying hydrated throughout the day not only improves focus but also helps reduce the feeling of tiredness and boosts energy for studying. Your body is like an engine, and for it to function well, it needs to be properly fueled. If you don't take care of your nutrition, your study performance will be compromised. By choosing foods that nourish the brain and staying hydrated, you'll be directly investing in your learning and mental health. Eating well is the key to having more focus, more energy, and more consistent results. Physical movement is essential for brain function since it helps release chemicals that promote well-being and improve cognition, like endorphins and serotonin. Additionally, when you move, blood circulation improves, which increases brain oxygenation and helps keep the mind alert. That's why, before you start studying, a simple stretching routine can do wonders. It not only prepares the body for effort, but also helps release accumulated tension and prepares your mind for focus. During breaks, it's crucial to give your body the chance to move. Even if you're tempted to just look at your phone or stay seated, the best thing you can do is get up, walk around a bit, or even do a quick stretch session. Studies show that just 5 minutes of movement can help reduce stress, improve circulation, and restore mental energy. When you return to studying after this short break, you'll notice a renewed mental clarity and much sharper focus. Experiments also show that light exercises like a brisk walk or a series of stretches are enough to oxygenate the brain and boost memory and concentration. This practice not only increases your productivity, but also reduces the feeling of tiredness that comes after long study sessions. By incorporating movement into your study routine, you create a healthy cycle where body and mind work together, keeping energy high and productivity up. Anxiety is one of the biggest enemies of focus and productivity in studying. When you feel pressured or worried, your breathing tends to speed up, sending alert signals to the brain and intensifying stress. This cycle of rapid breathing can make things worse, leaving you more nervous and making it harder to think clearly. However, the good news is that breathing is one of the most powerful tools you have to break this anxiety cycle and restore calm in seconds. Do you want to transform your academic future and achieve incredible results? With these 2 exclusive ebooks that I left in the video description, you'll master the application process for American colleges and increase your chances of approval, and also improve your study performance with practical and effective strategies. It's your turn to take the next step towards success. Don't waste time, click on the link now and start building the future you deserve. The secret lies in how you breathe. Controlled breathing can calm your nervous system and instantly reduce tension. A simple and effective technique is the 4-7-8 breathing method. To practice it, just inhale slowly through your nose, counting to 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. This deep breathing process activates the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for reducing stress and anxiety levels, providing an immediate sense of relaxation. Whenever anxiety starts to arise, whether during studying, before an exam, or in moments of tension, stop for a moment and focus on your breathing. Instead of letting stress consume you, direct your attention to the rhythm of your breath. This will help lower your heart rate and restore mental clarity, allowing you to refocus with a calmer and more centered mind. Additionally, regular practice of this technique can become a powerful habit for dealing with daily pressure. By incorporating controlled breathing into your study routine, you'll notice that stress decreases and your concentration improves. This simple exercise could be the key to transforming the way you handle stressful situations like exams, deadlines, and even moments of mental overload. To improve your studies and reduce stress, small changes in your routine can make all the difference. By adopting strategies such as efficient planning, regular breaks, healthy nutrition, physical movement, and breath control, you'll create a solid foundation for increasing focus and productivity without burnout. Success in studying doesn't just come from effort, but from balance between body and mind. Apply these practices and watch your motivation and performance transform, making your learning journey more efficient and less stressful. If you want to learn more about applying to American universities or explore valuable tips to improve your studies and stay focused while preparing for college, just click on the cards I've added at the end of the video. Take advantage and start transforming your future today.